So Everton make a move on Forest target Malick Fofana. Welcome to your transfer news. Afternoon, guys, and welcome back to another emergency stream. And these are starting to feel way too frequent for my liking. Hope you guys are doing well. Please make sure you've hit the like, make sure you're subscribed. Get your hellos in the chat because we are live. And don't forget, later on, we've got the big match, Forest versus Fulham. Another 0-0 fest incoming. Owen, bro, I'm just reading your message. If I'm feeling depressed, you must feel depressed, bro. We go back too far that we can't do that. Anyway, get big up. Let's do the hellos quickly. Hi Daniel, hi KL, hi Greg, good to see you. Big up, wake up, big up Owen as well. Big up to you, the other Owen. Joker says I can't be asked with Forest at the moment. And we got this idiot in the chat as well. Yeah. How's your striker and keeper search going, Cass? Let me know. Anyway, right. Let's I'm with you. You know what, Josh, right? Call me anti-Forest right now, but I actually think a good stuffing may be the best thing for Forest transfer window. I really do. But it is what it is. Afternoon, Rob. Afternoon, Lou. Afternoon, Jimmy. But that's not the story, Cass. That's not the story. Anyway, right, for those of you who don't know what's going on, let's bring you up to speed, right? So, Malick Fofana has now been approached by Everton. Yes, you've heard me right. Everton are in negotiations for Fofana. He's on my shopping list, man. He's on my fucking shopping list. He's on my shopping list. Now, why is this so frustrating? Because on the 1st of July, Forest cut a deal with Sir John Textor to get Fofana. Okay, so let me just quickly run you through the backstory here. So you can see here, Romano tweeted on the 1st of July saying, exclusive, Forest have agreed deal with Lyon for Malick Fofana, but no agreement yet on the player's side. Fofana waiting for Champions League clubs with Chelsea still keen on the player. Understand Bayern and Napoli have also, what does that say, called to him to make initial approach. Okay, this was on the 1st of July. We are now sitting here on the 26th of July. Now, we spoke to Ben Jacobs, my boy, Cass's boy, right? And we had a chat with him about it. His take on it was that this was to do with Lyon. Just to remind you guys, Lyon's impending appeal to get themselves back into League 1. And basically what happened was that Forest, Textor and Marinakis agreed a fee so that Lyon could go into their appeal and say, you know what, yeah, we're short on money, but look, we've got this IOU from Marinakis for like 40 million or whatever it is for Fofana. So that in itself was like, so are we actually in for Fofana? But the way that Romano phrases it was like it was a normal deal. And, you know, he'd spoken to Fofana's agent and he said he's waiting for Champions League club. Now, this is the bit. So ignore the stuff that Ben Jacobs has said for a second, right? Because it does make logical sense. And then we've seen nothing on this for 26 days. You lot love to hate. Transfer window isn't closed yet. No, Elliot, what we do is react as fans to what's happening in the news. If you want me to sit here and say, trust the process, there's still 5 weeks left of the transfer window. Trust the recruitment process. They've got it right before, they'll get it right again. Fine. But that's a bit BBC for my liking. I'll be honest with you. I'm annoyed and I'm frustrated with this. And we are seeing targets reject or move elsewhere, or players that we should be going in for going elsewhere, right? That's the whole thing with it. And by the way, if you don't want to be frustrated, don't be frustrated. But don't tell me or anyone in the chat how we should or not be feeling about it. Fucking hell, we're all fans. Fans aren't meant to be these robots that come off the fucking line. Fan must react like this. Fan number 2 must react the same as fan number 1 and 3. You can react how you want to react. Anyway, whatever. But shout out to you anyway, right? So anyway, so this was what happened initially. Now, nothing happened between Forest and Lyon after that. Obviously, Lyon got themselves back into League On. Shout out to John Texter. And then now what's happened is Everton have put a bid in for him. And again, Romano tweets this out. He says, exclusive, Everton are in advanced talks with Malick Fofana from Lyon. Official bid submitted and club now in direct talks with Everton, also in contact with the players' camp. Everton in discussions on personal terms of Fofana, talks underway. Couple of things. Exactly, David. You're not a number, bro. You're not a number. Couple of things on this, right? Firstly, I've heard that the bid is about 36 million, including add-ons. I don't know how true that is, but there's reports from L'Equipe, I think it was, to say 36 million euros, including add-ons, which is about 32 million pounds all in. I would guess Everton have probably offered like 25 mil in pounds, plus say another 10 in add-ons, something like that. If that bid gets accepted, I am going to lose my crap, because that is way cheaper than what we're trying to do with Dan Ndoye. And Fofana, for me, is a better player. Yes, I think Fofana's left-sided and Ndoye is right-sided. Doesn't really matter right now, because we are running out of wingers and we are running out of them very, very quickly. Okay? That's the thing. By the way, guys, it's about coming up to 350 of you already in here. Please hit the like. Make sure you subscribe. So that's one thing. Now, look at the tweet here from Romano. Can someone point out to me where it says Fofana is waiting for a Champions League club? Because I don't see that. I don't see that. In his tweet, let me show you again. Spot the difference right here, right? In his tweet on Forest, boom, Fofana waiting for Champions League club with Chelsea still keen on the player. Go to the second one. Fofana still waiting. No, it doesn't say that. It doesn't say that. Why is everyone bashing Edu when Ross Wilson is the one who concentrates on Forest? Edu works for the whole Marinakis group. Ross Wilson right now, bro, he's up in Newcastle somewhere. Sevenless, he's saying, big up Wolfie, love the Discord. By the way, man, you lot freaking hell, man. Like, the conversation's going on to like 2, 3 in the morning yesterday on the Discord. Make sure you're in that Discord, having a chat in there as well. I've been in there speaking to you guys in there. By the way, is this done the announcement? Did it say we'd gone live in there? The fuck? Why hasn't it done that? Anyway, besides the point. Yeah, man, you need to get some rest, bro. Like, hold on, shit. Why is this fucking hell? Hold on. All right, there we go. Okay. Yeah, it was good fun last night. So make sure you're in the Discord. The link's there in the chat. Sevenless has just put it in for you guys. You just need to click it. Sevenless, he's in there from this morning. You got Jim in there as well. Shout out to Jim. Make sure you're joining in the Discord and get chatting. There's a lot of frustrated fans in there. I joined last night. I don't use it much though. Yeah, it's just good if you just gotta get something off your chest about Forest, jump in that Discord. Anyway, back to the point, right? Back to the point, because I know, sorry, comments, you guys watching later on. This chat is very distracting, and like I'll get back onto the news, right? So he's now not saying that he wants Champions League football. Now, here's my point, okay? I actually believe what Ben Jacobs said, that the whole bid that Forest put in for Fofana was a smokescreen bid, right? It was just, you scratched my back, I'm going to scratch yours, Texter Marinakis style, okay? That, for me, 100% was the case on that bid. But here's my point now. Forest are down to 2 wingers. Fofana is being approached by Everton. There was links to him to Liverpool. Liverpool have moved away. Chelsea got Gittins and stuff like that, right? And you had, who else? There's a couple of other clubs that were in. Bayern Munich, they were interested in him, but they're looking solely now at Diaz from Liverpool. My point here is we are a club that needs wingers. We are a club that clearly have recognized Fofana is a baller, because even if it was a smokescreen, the talks had happened. By the way, Jet Setter, are you in the Discord, bro? I've seen you in there. You know, get your ass in there. We need to catch up. So why are we not now hijacking the hijack of this deal? This is my point here. If Everton get Fofana for anywhere around £30 million, then Forest are a fucking joke this transfer window. Because I'll tell you what, right? Everton, and I've got no beef with Everton. Shout out to the PSR Brotherhood, us and Everton, the only teams that get screwed by the Premier League, right? So I don't begrudge them guessing this if I wasn't interested in him. But we have European football that we can offer Fofana. If he's changed his mind on Champions League, does he now just want to play Premier League football and domestic cups? So surely this is an easy one for Forest to hijack. This is the point. Go in and get him. I'll go a step further. I'd rather have Fofana over Ndoye, who Forest are pissing around with anyway. There was talks of we are preparing a second bid for him. Preparing, man. What is it? A fucking presentation, man. Do it Football Manager style. Chuck the number and see what happens. So this is becoming an absolute joke for me, this transfer window. An absolute joke. If he goes to Everton, so help me God, how I will react to it. Okay? So that's the Fofana news. By the way, I'm not going to keep you guys here too long, right? Because we got the watch along later on. I don't know what time it's time, probably like 7:30 or something. But that's the Fofana news. Why does this infuriate me more? Because of this news here as well. Sporting and Jota Silva. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Forest have two wingers currently, like senior wingers on there. Sorry, Wolfie, you're wronger than Gary Glitton over here. We need a striker. Nobody ever won by scoring 0. We got Jesus, bro. We got Jesus. I'm not worried about the striker. On this Jota story, right? What's clear about it is that Forest are willing to sell Jota Silva, okay, and go down to having one winger in Callum Hudson-Odoi. Remember, Elanga's gone, Sosa's gone, Jota Silva is up for sale. That literally leaves us with Elanga. That's it. Okay. Now, what Forest have said is that they want cash for him. How much, I don't know. But Sporting Lisbon are very interested in him. They've come out and they've put their stance on it. They've said that they are not interested in buying him, but they will happily take him on loan, and that's all they want to do. Okay? So they don't want to do any deal this summer for Jota Silva. They do want him, but they want to do it as a freaking loan deal. So there is an article on it. I'll run you through it right now. Now, there's 2 points I want to make to you guys here. You can either look at this as a positive thing or a negative thing, okay? If we are willing to sell Jota Silva, there must be some serious confidence in the club that we are going to go out and get like 3-4 wingers. Because to go down to one winger is absolutely crazy. Okay, Dennis is still on the books, but bro, do you really see Dennis being part of the squad this season? Fuck it. If Dennis becomes part of the squad, and I actually think there's still something in him, but still, that's not the point. That's not the point, right? So you could look at this as a positive. By the way, shout out to Jay Brown, shout out to Gary, and shout out to Jacko, who've all just jumped into the Discord as well. Big up to you. I think there's nearly 400 of you already in that Discord. Anyway, so you could look at it that positive way. If you're a negative asshole like me, I look at it in a negative way, because I still stand firm that you should try, or at the very least have a couple coming in before you release him. And I don't rate Jota Silva, right? He's a dog that chases his tail as far as I'm concerned. So I think Forest should do their business first before even contemplating getting rid of a backup. As much as I don't rate him, at least he's a warm body. He has played for Forest last season. He has Premier League experience and what have you. Okay? So this is the thing. This is my frustration with it. If we were to let Jota Silva go, imagine this scenario. We're like, you know what, Sporting? All right, you asked nicely. You said please, right? We're just going to let him go. to you on loan, and we're not even going to put an option. You don't need an option. We're not even going to put an obligation. Yeah, you're good, Sporting. Just take our guy. We'll figure something out with one winger. If that happens, then Forest are fucking idiots, right? So let me run you through the articles so you can kind of hear it from the horse's mouth. So Forest transfer news, Lisbon leave Premier League side in no doubt over Silva stance. And like, since when has the buying club acted like they've got all the power, by the way, right? Forest have reportedly earned that Sporting Lisbon's stance over a potential bid for Jota Silva. Last summer, we paid 10 million for the versatile attacker. I use that term very loosely. In his first season of the Premier League, 3 goals and 2 assists in 30. He had 31 appearances. They can't have all been starts. Albeit only 5 of those coming from the starting lineup. There you go. They've answered my question there. Even with Elanga having left for Newcastle, Jota faces the realistic prospects of remaining as a backup squad member in Nuno's squad. As a result, it appears the interest is growing in the playmaker, with teams in Portugal open to take him back to the Portuguese league. So here's their stance. According to the journalist Bruno Andrade, who was speaking on CNN Portugal, Sporting have made it clear to Forest that they would only consider signing Jota on loan. He said there's no official proposal, but Sporting have left no doubt about their position. The club has told Forest if it's a loan, we're interested. Now it's up to the English side. Furthermore, Andrade, however you say his name, claims that Sporting head coach Rui Borges is eager to secure a reunion with Jota and has been requested by his former coach. Georgie briefly worked with Jota at Victoria Guimarães before he made a move to the City Ground at the start of August. Previous reports have indicated that Forest would prefer to do business through a permanent deal in the region of 15 million euros, about 13 million pounds. Okay, so there's a bit more on it. Forest left to make a decision, providing that Forest remain in the Europa League and a guaranteed league phase football. Someone of Jota's ability and versatility could prove important to Nuno. I highly doubt that. More game time would likely continue. Big up to my guy, Poison Soup. He's with the 3 coffees, and he says, I don't understand. And I fixed the alerts finally. I fixed the alerts. So I got a break for the coffee. If you put a coffee in, it stops me because the alerts don't stay there up that long, and I got to read them out to you guys. So come back to the article. Poison Soup, my guy, says, I don't understand why Forest is screwing us over. That's how it feels. I would have been open to selling Jota, but not after selling Elanga. WTF is going on there? I agree with you, bro. Exactly what I'm saying here. What is the point in selling backwards? Get you guys in first. Thank you so much, bro, for the 3 coffees. He says more game time would likely come to the 25-year-old, but much more may depend on whether he holds a desire to leave Forest just 12 months into a 4-year contract. Forest may only be willing to do business if they're in line to make profit, yet keeping Jota in their ranks may provide valuable, right? Blah, 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 with Gibbs White leaving. So look, I look at it like this. This is why the news about Adama Traore, which I'm hoping has died down from yesterday, worries the absolute crap out of me, right? Unless Forest are going to say, you know what, we'll let Jota Silva go because we'll bring Adama as the backup to player X, because we don't even know who that is. Let's be honest here, right? All this, we still have time in ignoring the fact that our defense solidity was built on all 10 outfield players. Facts, bro. So, my man, Sai, with the 5 coffees. Fucking hell, you're gonna keep me awake through that watch along, man. He says, let's see what our new Brazilians can bring to the team. Come on, you Reds. Big up to you, Simon, man. My fellow Peterborough Red. Much love to you, bro. And yeah, that's the only thing exciting me about tonight's game is I'm hoping Igor Jesus plays and balls out, man. And Cunha balls out. But yeah, we'll see, bro. It's probably going to be nil. Shout out to you, Sai, for that. So yeah, so that's why I'm worried about that Traore news yesterday. Because as things stand, I don't know how he fits in. He's going to be the backup to himself at the moment. And that's what worries me, guys, about all of this. Now, a lot of you are saying I've seen, and saying I've lost faith in Edu in Forest and the window. I'm not turned yet on Edu. I am very cautious about him, and he is close to being put on fraud watch. But I don't know how much. What I don't know is who's having the impact there. Is it Edu or is it Ross Wilson, or are they butting heads? That's the other thing, you know, that I worry about. Like, are they butting heads? Is Edu saying Douglas Luiz, and then Ross Wilson is saying, no, let's get Callum Wilson because we got the same surname? Who knows right now? Tripwire saying, you know, a 3-4-3 is looking good if we don't get another winger. Problem with the 3-4-3, bro, you leave yourself with a two-man midfield, and I don't like that. Adam says, I'd take Traore, but he ain't coming. We probably have less pull than Diaby. It's embarrassing. Amit says he's on fraud watch. Just watch. Not fraud alert just yet. Okay, interesting. Semantics there. Big up to my guy, Paul, man. He's always writing some great comments in the chat. He goes, listen, man, I'm sorry to keep banging on about this all being Marinakis' fault, but it is. Marinakis before 2025 did a hell of a lot for our club, but in 2025, he's done nothing. Do you guys agree with that? Because I'll be honest with you, I do give Marinakis an easy ride, right? Because I love him and I think he's done so much for the club, like it's ridiculous, okay? But I get it. That doesn't mean everything he does is like, I should be looking the other way. And I get it in the neck from all the other content creators. Any stream I go on, they're like, oh, your owner, man, he's embarrassing to the Premier League and all that. I'm like, I don't care. He's my guy. But is there some responsibility? And I'm asking the question. In my opinion, it's a no. And I'll tell you why. Because I think Marinakis has made the funds available. It is not up to him to then go and scout the players, approach the agents, and all that. Having said that, though, I do think there is some questions that need to be asked about him getting involved in the Elanga sale. Because the wording were, if the reports were true, the wording said that Marinakis got involved personally in it, and he thought it was too good an offer to refuse. And I'll tell you why I would question it. Because now Newcastle are selling not Edu, what's his name? Who's that? Big up to Big D Forest becoming a gold member. My guy, love you. Much love to you. Isak, that's the one I'm talking about. Here's my thing, right? If Liverpool or whoever or PSG buy Isak and Newcastle sell him for, say, 130, 150 million, everyone who gets approached by Newcastle is going to add 15 to 20% on any player they go after. So, for example, and this is my point, if we said no to Newcastle and Elanga was still here, and let's just say Isak gets sold tomorrow, they then start to look for their replacements. They come for Elanga. Forest would then be in a position to say, well, we just know you got 150 million for your Swedish boy. If you want our Swedish boy, we start talking at 60 mil. You see what I'm saying? I almost think Forest kind of shot the bed too quickly for it. So that's my concern about that one. But then again, like, how would they know that? You can make the argument, how are they going to know that Newcastle were going to sell, or he was going to be injured and not be able to go on the flight and what have you? There's Jet Setter joining the Discord. Big up to him. Brisk as well is in there. Jacker11112 is in there as well. If you want to join the Discord, get in there, man. They're all chatting away. They're all chatting away in there. So the conversations are going on in the live chat. They're going on in the Discord. If you're watching it later, jump on in the Discord. The link is in the description as well. All right, let's get into a couple of your messages. I think Marinakis needs to kick Edu up the arse and get the players we need. Can he do that, though, Sean? Can he do that? Because Marinakis chased Edu for quite a while. Is he going to go full Greek on him? Like, off the bat? He would, wouldn't he? Marinakis is Marinakis. Like, is there a honeymoon period that he's letting Edu settle into and what have you? I don't know, man. I don't know. All I know is Forest better damn well get fucking this guy Fofana, man. He cannot go to Everton. Facts, Josh, he is paying the guy. He is absolutely paying the guy. Steve saying, I love Marinakis, but he needs to step up and step in ASAP. I do agree with that. Shout out to Heath with the 199. He goes, I think we switched to a narrow formation. I think, Keith, you're right by default because we ain't got any wingers. We haven't got any wingers. Now, what worries me about this is that Nuno's formations, all of them, bar one or two, but his kind of main set formations all rely on width, be it from the fullbacks or be it from wingers. So by default, we're going to have to watch something narrow. Could it be a 4-3-2-1 potentially? Watch the video of Elanga taking the piss out of Forest in Singapore. What's he said, Gordon? What's he said? He's the owner. He can do what he wants. Yeah, but we own the club. We are the fans as well. Yes, Footy Arch, you heard it correct. Everton. Hence the emergency stream required. Shout out to Zoso. He's just joined the Discord, or she's just joined the Discord as well. And thank you again, Heath, for the 199. It might be a 4-2-2. He used it in Saudi. Bro, 4-2-2. That's like the worst formation on FIFA, hazardous, man. I hate that formation. I don't like formations where you end up with a two-man midfield. To be honest, I've always liked a 4-2-3-1. But when you do your research, right, and you look at the teams above us in the league, Liverpool kind of play a 4-3-3. Arsenal kind of play a 4-3-3. Newcastle play a 4-3-3. Who else is there? Chelsea don't. Man City don't. Villa can play it in a 4-3-3. Sometimes they play it a 4-4-2. 4-4-2 for me is too old school, bro. It's too. I don't think we play with two up front. Laurie's in the house. She goes, I mean, no incoming players, no sponsors, stupid low bids, low wages. Is there more of a cash issue, not a PSR issue? But we've just been paid by Newcastle, man. We just got 20 mil for Danilo. We've had, who else did we sell, chat? There was someone else. Who was the other one we sold? Sosa to Palmeiras. He's gone. Like, so that's 50 million for Elanga, 20 million for Danilo. So 50 plus 20. Shout out to Curtis. He says, did you read my post on X? Not yet, bro. Not yet. I've been doing like TikToks and the second channel of Footy Network as well. So I haven't had a chance to catch up on socials. By the way, please make sure you're following us on the Footy Network, on TikTok as well. So make sure you're following us on TikTok. There's like 3 or 4 TikToks out a day. Big up to Gary with the £2 super sticker as well. Much love to you, Gary. I appreciate it. Owen, bro, but you're always depressed. That's the thing. Hold on, what we got going on here? Hold on, I've just seen this Elanga thing. He said that Elliot and Chris Wood pushed him to join Newcastle. What? Have you not seen this? Is this what you're talking about, Gordon? He says, what's it like? Elliot Anderson talks to you about Newcastle when he shared a dressing room with you and gave you some advice before joining the club, or Chris Wood. When the interest was found, Elliot and Chris spoke to me a lot. But yeah, Elliot did push it. He did push me to come. And obviously, he still loves Newcastle so much. In the final year, so I took his word for it about how much he loves the club and how much the club will help me develop as a player. So I took the opportunity to come here, and I really want to develop and become the best player I can possibly become. Fuck you. There you go. I think we need a new poll. Do we want Wolfie to take over from Edu? Bro, I'd have brought in like 7 or 8 players, but Forest have been heavily in the red. Elliot, you Newcastle spy. Yeah, what's undercover agent? You got double agents, and then you got undercover agents as well. Bullshit, it was the money. Oh, God. Wolfie, put the job application in for Forest. bro, like, I don't know, man. Do you imagine me working at Forest? I was arguing with someone on Twitter about this. As Anderson loves Newcastle. I mean, of course he's gonna love Newcastle. I got no beef with Anderson loving Newcastle, right? It would be like if I played for Newcastle and when you look at it, is it that deep? If I was playing for Newcastle and let's just say Isak came to me and he was like, yo, you know what? Forest have just called up my agent. What are you saying about Forest? And I'd be like, it's the best club in the world. It's got 2 stars. Got the best fans in the world. We've got pretty boring playing style. But apart from that, man. Oh, and there's no hot water. But it won't bother you, Isak, because you won't be in the stands watching. The hot water's fine. The showers are working fine, and what have you. So it would be something like that. Would you like to him? Guys, we got 600 in here. Please do make sure you've hit the like button and make sure you've subscribed as well. Right, so tonight Forest are playing Fulham. Fulham tonight. I think kickoff's 8 o'clock, isn't it, guys? It's at 8 o'clock over in Portugal. I assume they're playing it later because it's hot there and there's a chance for everything to cool down. So that was your kind of breaking emergency news. Let's see what happens with Fofana. I don't know, man. Yeah, anything else we need to cover before then? Big D Forest is loving the passion, mate. More effing and jeffing words over the last 3 days than the last 3 years. I have cut them out, but Forest are pushing me, man, to my limits right now. To my limits. Freaking limits being reached with this transfer window, man. It's starting to wind me up. But let's hope Igor Jesus can absolutely ball out. By the way, does anyone know what the Luton Luton Spurs score is? Let me have a quick look. Luton still 0-0, 89th minute. Hold that, Spurs, man. They drew in Chesterfield earlier and they're drawing with plucky old Luton. Things you love to see. Oh, they've got our scoreline, Steve. The old 0-0, the Forest 0-0 thing going on. All right, well let's go and troll Sava. Let's go and troll Sava, right? I'm gonna send you over to Sava. Just put plucky Luton in there. Right, just to wind him up a bit. We'll be back about 7:30, I think, or 7:45. I'm gonna go get some food. I'm gonna go kick a wall and punch a wall or something. Forest, by the time we kick off, you better have signed someone. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Go and put plucky Luton in Sava's chat, and I'll see you later on for the watch along. Much love to you guys. Thank you for keeping me sane. Come on, you Reds.